Hello! I'd like to manage your expectations immediately out of the gate with this video. This is not a how-to. If you're looking for a how-to, this isn't it. I'm just a BMXer that kind of came over to mountain biking and is turning his mountain bike a little more into his BMX.
And I will be achieving that by installing this gyro system from Title.
As you know, being a fan of the channel, you're aware of Mr. Relatable. Basically, I've got everything taken off of this bike except the rear brake. And the rear brake hose is just kind of like coiled around like this so that I can do one bar spin. What a gyro does, it splits the cable with a metal coupler that's all soldered together and puts it on a bearing that has these flanges here so that it can spin freely forever and ever and ever. And that's a feature that I just thought would be kind of cool on my trail bike that is literally designed to be able to do tricks with while also riding, you know, the bike parks that we have around here. I could spend a bunch of time here like talking about it, but I think we'll just get going. So I'm gonna do the sensible thing. Just start by removing the current rear brake. Brake off. Now the front wheel's gotta come out. There, so lose it. Fork's gotta come out, handlebar's gotta come out, stem's gotta come off, everything's coming apart. The more I talk, the more it sounds like I'm doing a how-to. I'm not doing a how-to. I'm just talking. Probably clean that. This one too. And actually with the fork out and everything, it's a really great opportunity to just retreat inside of this frame because it is steel and I'd like it to last. You can see the rust that came out of where the dropper post, well, the post goes in. So just want to keep it going for as long as I can. It's funny, the first time that I built and rode this frame in a video, someone commented, "Nice ad. Great ad. You didn't even mention what frame company it is." Terrible advertisement. Which I think is just like a funny indication of where YouTube is. Like, I can't just genuinely be excited about something if it's not an ad. It's not an ad. Okay, so this top bearing race, it needs to come out. Okay, now we can start putting the gyro stuff on. And the first piece that we put on is the, we'll call it the lower plate, like the lower tabs. So it'll live here and it looks like it'll kind of get centered by the headset cup. So you can get tabs put on like this way. This is like old school BMX way. New school BMX is like it's drilled and tapped into the head tube itself. And you'll see this on BMXs a lot, but they all use pretty standard sizing head tubes. So this, the detangler, that's this bit here, that on a BMX is universal. Like every company can kind of use the same size. On mountain bikes, they all have different size head tubes. So Title has 2 different sizes and you measure it out to pick which one you've got. This bike ends up needing a small, so that's what I ordered. So I'm just gonna go ahead and press this back in now. Throw some grease back in these. Park Tools grease this time. Fork in. Okay, cables. We gotta do cables. Into here, thread that in. So if the housing past the junction cut to length, put this back on, get it set up on the caliper, and then bolt the cable up to what I'm hoping is the secret weapon to having decent-ish feeling brakes for on the trail, but I'm okay with if it doesn't really work out that way. So these are the Wintec mechanically actuated hydraulic brakes. I I hope they feel pretty good. I'm also hoping that the mechanical advantage here is the correct pull ratio for the Title levers that we're going to put on, but it remains to be seen. We just gotta kind of put it together and see what happens. All right, I'm gonna put the upper cables in. So it's pretty annoyingly important with gyros that you really want to get these tightened down, because it really helps solidify the whole system. It just takes out as much of the flex as possible and just makes the whole system work so much better. Just get this bolt back in somehow. Okay, now front wheel.
It's still sitting loose, and my dad noticed there was something else broken, which sits on the bottom of this spring here.
Okay, time to test it, I guess. We're helping. All right, it is on and working. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 for initial setup for the parts that I had here to work with it. Some notable things. The pressed in lower plate, like the lower tabs, they have some like built-in flex kind of no matter what. As you pull it, they do flex out, and that is going to affect performance. The detangler itself, like the actual gyro itself, as you pull up and put pressure between the inner and outer, and you go to turn, it creates, hear that? It creates friction. And basically what that means is you can feel it while you're holding the brake and you're kind of like turning. So it's almost like your headset gets really, really tight when you're holding the rear brake and rolling around. It feels like it's actually getting maybe a little better. Maybe it breaks in a little bit. I don't know. I'm gonna drop some lube in here and just see if that sort of frees it up a little bit more. This is indeed, based on the cable pull and the way that it's performing, a mountain bike pull caliper. The Title lever is road pull. So really what this should be is like a TRP gyro or something. And that would probably take this from work. Like, it does lock up, it does feel okay, but it does have that like, hey, something's not right between them feel. Kind of like when you have like a full length V-brake with like a road drop lever and they don't really work together. Actually, that's exactly what it is. So right now I have the pads really close to the rotor and I still get kind of a lot of lever pull. What I will do with this app, and I'm not going to do today, is go to like a 200mm rotor. I will source the appropriate calipers. I just need to find them for a decent price. And there will be a front brake. But for now, the true beginnings of my dream bike park rig where I can do tricks, like my BMX tricks at the bike park at Wentworth, really coming together. If you don't normally follow the channel, I've been uploading daily and I've been training for mountain bike marathon and like a running marathon. Today's kind of like a rest day. I think I'm just gonna cut it here and we'll have some like regular programming tomorrow. So subscribe if those are some of the things you're into and you want to see more of this. That's it. That's the end of this video.
Norton gets a biscuit. Norton gets a biscuit. Hey.